Welcome to the Convention of States University and this COSU course on events and exhibits. This module is on event selection and application. I'm Howard Boothroyd. In the previous module, we discussed the Gun Show Trader site. And as you can see by these three images, if you go to Gun Show Trader to Iowa Gun Shows as an example, you then go to the Iowa Gun Show list, and you'll see that there's a listing for J.R. Harlan Gun Show. If you click on that, it will take you to the HR or J.R. Harlan Gun Show page where the promoter is listed with their contact information. This is where you start with building your relationships and your list of venues at which to exhibit. When you contact the promoter, you'll want to, again, be ready to share the information about Convention of States and obtain their show schedule. The information that they provide, again, will be loaded into the CO event and exhibit roster. This document, again, preloaded with certain gun show information for national gun shows, has a setup for listing the dates and the time and the events, the contacts, their phone numbers, their emails, and comments as to what their requirements are for participating in their show. There is a page for expos, fairs, and festivals, and gun shows. Please use this file, modify it as you see fit, and use it as a tool to build your event schedule. This is a website for fairs and festivals. It's a different type of listing. And the one to the far right is for festivals.net. You can peruse these list of events and find the ones that are of most interest and that will fit on your calendar for both you and for your volunteers. It is not the only list of festivals and events, but these two will provide you most of them. You may find others, again, if you do a Google search for festivals and fairs in your state. Each promoter will have their own set of rules, their own application approval process, and the event rate. There are limited tables at an event typically, so reservations should be made well in advance of the date. Popular venues may have a waiting list. You should be prepared for that. When you speak with the event promoter, they will need to know or be informed that electricity will be required. It's oftentimes available, sometimes at an additional charge, but typically has to be requested at the time the application is made. So complete the application, return it with the exhibitor fee if it's requested to secure the table. Do understand and abide by the exhibitor rules. One of the most important rules that they will have is that you set up in advance of the show, be prepared for when the show opens, and importantly, do not break down your exhibit until the show officially closes. Promoters don't like to have the show being dismantled while it is still open. So maintain the table until the show is officially closed. Typically, tables at an event are 8 foot. Sometimes they're 6. Typically, they're 8. Chairs may be provided. They may not. Ask the promoter what the policy is and whether or not you will need to bring chairs. You won't need to bring a table. For events that are sold out, but you really do want to be at the event, it may be permissible to set up outside of the venue at the entrance points. That, however, presents its own set of issues. One, it may be a matter of inclement weather, so you need to be prepared for that. You may be out in the open. It would be a point at which considering having a tent cover would be important. This is a matter to discuss with the event promoter And it'll be based on available space, weather, and other factors. You will need to determine whether or not electricity will be available if you'll be setting up outside. If not, a small portable generator like a Honda EU 2000i would be useful in powering the electronics at the table. This type of generator is often available at Home Depot for rent. That is an option that you may need to exercise. Google Calendar is one way to create a calendar of events for your group or for your group of districts if you're working with other districts. If you have Google, you have Google Calendar. You can see that it's circled in the side panel uh, on the top image. If not, you can go to Google Calendar using Explorer and get to that same application. And on the calendar, you can map your events. It's suggested that you print out a couple months worth so you can set it out and look at where you'll want to be exhibiting over the next number of months and do something of a more long-range plan. Teaming up with other districts is a part of that long-range plan. This image shows Region 8 of Florida. You notice that Region 8 is comprised of two sectors. It's been divided for grouping purposes. So in the northern sector, we have 6 districts, and the map to the left shows venue locations in those 6 districts. Those are places where events are being held throughout the year. This is an opportunity for these districts to work together. This is a sample calendar for the districts. You'll notice that in Bradenton, there's a Saturday market that District 71 and 72 could participate at. That is to say, volunteers who would like to either set up at a Saturday market or just walk the Saturday market with palm cards could participate in that together. The next week is the Manatee County Fair. That county fair, District 71, 72, and 73 could participate at. That Saturday, and the exhibit kit would be required at the county fair. That Saturday is the Sarasota Farmers Market. District 74 and 75, a couple volunteers, could participate at that with walking the district, or excuse me, walking the farmers market with palm cards and their business cards. They could set up at the farmers market and have a tent and a table if there is a second kit available. But looking at that, the kit, if it's a shared kit among the districts, which is an ideal thing to do, would be in use at the county fair, and so it would not be available. On the fourth week, you'll see that there's a gun show at the Palmetto Exhibition Center. There, District 74 and 56 could team up to man the table at the gun show. This is just a sample, just to show how districts can team up to work together. They certainly could do all these things by themselves, but there's a true advantage to working as sector team, which means that you share the experience, share the success, share the setup, and share the expense. When you're planning for an event, in your document packet, you will find that there's a COS planning materials checklist and a planning form. The planning form allows you to set out on a single sheet the event, the cost, who will be there, what days, the contacts, deposits paid, and to plan the materials outside of the materials list that will be needed. And then at the end of the event, there's an opportunity to have a summary. How many visitors did you have? Estimated visitors at the event, estimated at the table. By the way, the show promoter can probably tell you how many people came to the event because they were selling tickets. They may not want to make that. They may just give you an estimate because they don't want to divulge their true attendance numbers. But an estimate would be good. And your estimate of people at the table, and then how many petitions did you collect, and what was the event expenses. And then you can send this to your state director or your state director as a report of the event, should you choose to do that and should they want to receive it. The other document that will be discussed further on in this course is the event planning document. This is a checklist. As you have put together your kit, this is a checklist to confirm that all the materials that you will need for that event are on hand and ready to go. The logo items such as banner covers and table covers, or banners, table covers, logoware, etc., will need to be well ordered well in advance. Our next module is on exhibit basics, and I will see you there.